Thank you very much.
All right. Let's begin from the beginning. Recently, President Muhammadu Buhari pleaded with ASU to end its 5-month strike. Are you giving consideration to this plea?
We are not, in true sense, we are not able. We don't believe that actually that such plea came from the president, because our own is that we believe that every issue has been resolved. The president should give approval to his minister, to his team, and negotiate with us to sign. And then the thing is off. End of this plea, and then we go back to a year time or 2 months time. We are back on strike. We believe that it's better for the government to just sign that agreement, and then we move on. And then there will not be strike in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Or if they implement, no strike again. That's better for this country than to go back and then in 2 months we are on strike for 5 years. They didn't do anything. It's when we call outside, they will do something.
But ASU has ended renegotiation more than a month. What is delaying the association in suspend? Are there still other issues?
When a negotiation does not end until that document produced is signed, have we signed? Are the president approval for signing? That's where it is. If you negotiate and not signed, there's no agreement. So as soon as it is signed and the issue of Utah is resolved, that's the end of the strike.
Okay. But some have the opinion that IPPIS and UTAS appear to be the bone of contention in resolving the strike, the face-off. Why is ASU bent on UTAS and government is insisting on IPPIS?
You see, number one issue there is the issue of autonomy. By the University Miscellaneous Act, the governing council of a university should run the budgets and finances of a university. That's what the law says very clear. Not on the office of accountant general. That is one. Two, is that the so-called IPs, for which government is paying so much money to some foreign body, has not addressed the peculiarity in the university. University is not like the ministry. There are peculiarity. There are various categories of staff, lecturers, contract, adjunct, sabbatical. They are there. They are not captured. Two, the IP is reading with corruption. You have seen recently the arrest of the accountant general for alleged corruption. So it's relating with corruption, and we are paying so much to some foreign body. Why can't we use the one that is produced by us, that for which government is paying no cover, and addresses all the peculiarity of university as have been tested by you, NIDA? Why insisting on having a foreign body? But ask the question, you can also help investigate. Is there any country in the world where university lecturers are paid for at the general office? As I speak to you, in many of our universities, there are people who are not being paid for 24 months. People are not being paid for 10 months. Every month, some people's names are dropped. The next month, they are brought in, and other people are dropped. Is that how we want to run a university? And they expect each of them is dropped. You have to leave Sokoto and come to Abuja to beg for them to restore your name. Is that how we have to run a university? Those are the crises.
But some people have the opinion that IPPIS, or what you call IPs, and UTAS, that IPs is pro the university, that the university is just trying to cater for its own segment without taking into consideration other vital issues that the federal government is trying to resolve.
Such as what?
No. If you look at it closely, from what people say, that the IPPIS, will restrain the universities, from the largesse that they've always had, and that will be detrimental. That's why the universities is insisting, that's why ASU is insisting on UTAS. Is that correct?
Are you following me?
Yeah.
Are you following me? Hello?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Those who conceive the idea of a university is that they will be autonomous. The president will appoint a governing council that will run the affair of the university on behalf of the government, pay the salary, do the recruitment, ensure they come with good program. That is the idea. And then to check that they don't misbehave, you don't know what you are referring to. So every 5 years, the president will send a strong panel, a panel of intellectuals and people in the law and what have you, to go and investigate what happened in the past 5 years. If anybody found guilty of doing anything wrong, that person is punished. That is how to check corruption or whatever you call it in the universities. One of the issues when we're on strike is the same thing. Government refused to be setting that panel university. We have to go on strike. And it took 11 years before the government sent the panel. So the issue of checking corruption is already there in the law, panel. But who checks corruption in Accountant General Office?
Okay.
Who is checking corruption in Accountant General Office? That doesn't have a governing. Is the law, as I recently, with the alleged about 80 or 170 billion naira corruption by only one person, if the allegation is true. Do you have similar thing in the university? So why would you talk area where you have that big corruption to a university, where you have intellectuals, people set up by the president or representative to run their affair? Which one is more trustworthy? The one that the federal government set up to run his affair that you can investigate in 5 years, or the one that is just free, as you have today? You see, university is universal. You don't run the university your own way. You run it the way university is run worldwide. And that's why it's a university. You can't, we have challenged this government. Name one country where salaries of lecturers are paid from your general office. Where a lecturer has a problem in Sokoto, in Port Harcourt, they have to take flights, take to Abeokuta to come. Now they had a university. When our university were doing well in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, did we have our general paying the salaries? Those are the questions we should ask ourselves. People have personal interest on like this, and they are enjoying it, and you can see the effect.
Okay, now, Prof, medical workers, have been singled out for salary payment. Does it mean the federal government has since stopped paying your salary?
Our salary was stopped.
Are your salary still running?
It stopped 5 months ago. They stopped it 5 months ago, thinking that if they stop our salary, we will count it and go and beg them to come back to school. But it has not worked. And that's why this issue of enough is enough, you are hearing enough is enough. If that thing at work, you will not hear this enough is enough. It is because after the 5 months, I remember I doggedly went on strike, that you are hearing enough is enough, go back to class. Why was it not said 4 months ago? Was it not said in February, March, April, May? Why now? Because the idea of using hunger as a weapon has failed.
Okay, now, but there's a deadlock now, where the deadlock is being experienced on this issue. The parents also are not, happy with it. The students themselves at a particular point, they had to block, the university, the way to the universities just as a way of protest. When is this going to stop? Is there any end in sight? And what is your next line of action?
On our own side, there's no deadlock. We met with the government negotiation team over about 4 weeks, and we negotiated, and both sides agreed on how the issue should be resolved. All we need now is for the government, the president, to direct his team to sign that agreement, and the strike is off. So there's no deadlock on our own side. So the Nigerian people, the parents, the students, Nigerian people should tell the government to do the needful and ensure that university compete with that university in the world, not local universities.
Okay, they should tell the government, so they shouldn't tell anything to ASU.
No, because we are finished with them. We are waiting for them.
Okay.
And it shouldn't take 2 days for the government to say, go and sign the agreement. It will take 2 days.
All right. We want to thank you very much, Prof, for taking our time to speak with us on Ogun State Television News.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Have a nice day.
I've been speaking with the National President of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke. You're watching OGTV News. We'll take a break now. When we come back, Inspector General of Police bans spy number plates nationwide. We'll bring you details after this time out.
One of the reasons why I started Manira, I wanted to make people feel good about what they wear. I lost my dad in 2008.
The day when the man died, I don't want to remember. School fees called the hard us. Things you can't go for me too.
My journey with MTN started in 2014. I remember the night I told my mom I had gotten the scholarship. It was midnight. I went to the room, I woke her up and I said, I've gotten a scholarship.
So happy. Neighbor week.
The tagline for the YEDP program was Turn It Up. The funding has helped me turn my dream on. My ambition is to be successful, impact lives, and generally just make people happy.
We're glad to have you back. Stakeholders in Ogun State have thrown their weight behind the 44 alteration bills approved by the National Assembly for the consideration of the state houses of assembly in the country, as they all canvassed for the speedy passage and subsequent assent by President Muhammadu Buhari. The stakeholders spoke during a public hearing on the 5th alteration of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the forum, and details of his report are presented in this package.
The forum was organized to avail stakeholders the opportunity to freely express their opinions and germane ideas on the proposed alteration, which will be subjected to further legislative scrutiny in order to strengthen democratic tenets in the Constitution. Declaring the forum open, the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, informed all stakeholders that the proposed alterations under consideration seeks to alter about 44 sections of the present Constitution of the nation. Oluomo added that when these alterations are successfully achieved, more institutions of government will be further strengthened, especially the three arms of government.
It is imperative for this Honorable House to give lessons legislative leaders to these bills and also ensure prompt transmission of SIP to the National Assembly as required by law. I want to inform all stakeholders present here that this proposed alteration under Constitution today seeks to alter about 44 sections in the present Constitution of the nation.
Dr. Yemisi Bangboshe, who represented Ogun West Stakeholders Forum, commended the 9th Assembly in the state for advocating for Yewa to be included in the Constitution, while National President of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, and Chairman NLC Ogun State Council, Comrade Emmanuel Bankole, emphasized that more credence should be given to the three arms of government in the discharge of their constitutional responsibilities to Nigerians.
We can continue to push the government. We are ready to combat as far as what and there. You told us that we have even gone far ahead of those of us from Yewa, Mount and Yewa, by even talking to other speakers across the country. We really want to thank you on behalf of all of us on that axis. Remember that we are going to leave it behind, and we still want to appeal to you to help us in making sure that scale depends this time around. We are concerned about the future of the country, and if you fix local government, you fix that. If you want to remove democracy, give autonomy to the legislative arm. Give autonomy to the judicial arm. You see that here working better. And if you look at the federal system, the way that we serially abused and federal system, we must rethink and reward that constitution.
The stakeholders agreed in unison that subsequent passage, accent and implementation of the bills would enhance national development, especially through a more independent legislature, judiciary and local government system that will deepen democratic practice. Deputy Speaker Honorable Akim Balogun, in his welcome address, posited that the Stakeholders Forum on the 5th alteration of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as altered, is aimed at addressing some gray areas in the Constitution which were perceived to be slowing down the democratic progress in the country.
Workers in Ogun State have resumed work after observing this year's Eid al-Kabir public holiday declared by the federal government, with a charge to be more dedicated and prompt in carrying out their assigned duties. Given this charge was the State Head of Service, Dr. Nofiu Aigoro, while speaking with our reporter, Adebola Oshomoji, in his office at Okemoson, Abeokuta, on the resumption of workers. Her report.
Following the expiration of the 2-day Salah break declared by the federal government, doors of government offices as well as schools and corporate organizations have opened for business activities. OGTV News crew visited the state secretariat Okemoson, Abeokuta, where civil servants were captured resuming to their duty post to carry out the day's work. Speaking with the #1 civil servant in the state, Dr. Nafiu Aigoro gave his impression about the level of compliance by the workers on the resumption from the break.
So I must give it to them. They are already, they have enjoyed the holiday. It's quite a long holiday, and they are back. So government institutions are open for business.
He seized the opportunity to implore workers to be more dedicated and diligent.
I will continue to advise all our staff, the workforce of the states, to have the right attitude, to improve on their work ethics. What do I mean by that? They need to be punctual on duty and also stay on their duty posts.
Also speaking, the Permanent Secretary, Bureau of Political Affairs and Administration, Office of the Governor, Mr. Kehinde Onosonya, urged workers to tune into the current administration's policy in achieving the needs of the citizens.
What's the meaning of Ishaya? Ishetibere. Work has commenced. Work has started. And from all intent and purposes, this is a committed administration. And civil servants, whether we like it or not, we have a crucial role to play towards delivering the dividend of democracy, has been initiated by His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Padwe. When you have a committed administration, there must be committed workers.
Civil servants in the state are the engine room of government, driving the wheel of governance and development in the state. Adebola Oshomuji, OGTV News.
It was celebration galore as illustrious sons and daughters of the soil converged on Oderemo, Ogun State, to grace this year's edition of the Ojudioba Festival. The annual festival, which traditionally holds on the third day of Eid al-Kabir, came up at the Alayeude's Palace, Oderemo. Sheyi Alau reports.
Organized by the Oderemo Islamic Council, the festival attracted faithfuls from different groups, from far and near. They were joined by friends and associates. This year's edition was spiced up with the introduction of merit awards to honor the distinguished sons and daughters of Oderemo. Among the honorees were Alayeluwa Oba Adetunji Osho and Alayeluwa Oba Mukaila Olabenjo. Speaking at the occasion, Oba Adetunji Osho expressed gratitude to sons and daughters of Remoland for their support in organizing another successful Ojudioba festival.
I feel honored, I feel elated for this thing is happening during my reign, and the first of its kind in Oderemo. Ojudioba has been in existence for the past 25 years, but it has not been to the level we are expecting to be, but we will continue to develop on it.
In his remarks, the chairman of the occasion, Alhaji Ibrahim Aruwulu, focused on the benefits of the festival to the people of Oderemo.
I'm so happy to witness today 2022 Ojudioba at Oderemo. I will advise both Oderemo citizens in diaspora, whenever such occasion arise, we should find means to attend the Ojudioba.
Guests and participants commended the organizers for staging another unifying festival.
I'm so impressed. This thing has been coming up for the past 2-3 years. And for today, if not because of the rain, I'm sure people will turn up seriously. Well, the unique of this Ojudioba is so unique in the sense that it's the first time ever that we have given award to meritorious people, meritorious service to distinguished people of Oderemo. It has been sunny and everybody was happy today, and we were happy. It was promising. The propaganda of Islam is spreading very much here in this Oderemo community. We thank God for everything.
Meanwhile, guest speaker Alhaji Ismail Agbaje urged the people of Oderemo to ensure continuous promotion of peace and unity in the community.
The Anambra state government says A laboratory has been established to diagnose cases of monkeypox and other contagious diseases in the state. Dr. Afam Obidike, the State Commissioner for Health, stated this on Wednesday in Oka. He said that the establishment of the laboratory will shorten the time for the investigation of disease outbreaks. Obidike said that the World Health Organization and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, are assisting the state to activate the laboratory. According to him, when the laboratory is completed, it will have the capacity to diagnose diseases like monkeypox, measles, and Lassa fever, and shorten the time of getting results for the investigations. The commissioner said it was unfortunate that NCDC's National Reference Laboratory in Abuja was the only facility in the country with the capacity to diagnose monkeypox cases. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered a total ban on all use of police spy vehicle number plates by vehicle owners across the states of the Federation without exception. This was contained in a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi. According to the statement, the order is necessary to forestall the continuous disregard for traffic rules and regulations and other extant laws guiding road use by individuals hiding under the privileges of spy police number plates. The IGP directed that police officers and officers of other security agencies attached to VIPs who use the spy number plates should ensure prompt compliance with this directive or risk being arrested for violation of the order. The IGP directed commissioners of police in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, as well as their supervisory assistant inspector general of police, to give full effect to the directives. The IGP, however, warned that while carrying out these assignments, officers must ensure the rights and privileges of citizens are respected in line with the laws of the land and in accordance with international best practices. Other security agencies and members of the public are enjoined to cooperate with the police in this regard, as the moves are aimed at strengthening internal security. A 28-year-old Kuje Correctional Center escapee, Yakubu Abdumumuni, has been arrested by men of Ogun State Police Command. The suspect was arrested in Songwater in the Abeokuta local government area of the state. The police public relations officer in the state, Abimbola Oyeyemi, disclosed this in a statement. Oyeyemi said Abdumumuni, who was convicted for conspiracy and culpable homicide in Kogi State and sent to Kuje prison, was arrested on Monday by operatives of the police command. Oyeyemi said the escapee, 28-year-old Yakubu Abdumumuni, was arrested following information received by policemen at Songwater Divisional Headquarters that the convict was sighted somewhere around Songwater. Upon the information, the DPO Songwater Division, SP Saleh Dahiru, quickly mobilized his men and moved to the area where the convict was apprehended. He confessed to the police that he escaped from Kuje Correctional Center on the 5th of July 2022 when the center was attacked by bandits. He stated further that he was convicted by Kogi State High Court for offense of conspiracy and culpable homicide and sent to Kuje Correctional Center. The Commissioner of Police, CP Lanre Bankole, has ordered the State Criminal Investigation Department to facilitate the transfer of the convict to the Correctional Center with immediate effect. Today, July 13, is the birthday of Professor Akinwande Oluwole Soyinka. Tiwalade Faeson chronicles briefly the Nigerian playwright, novelist, poet, and essayist in English language.
Professor Akinwande Oluwole Babatunde Soyinka, born on 13th July 1934, is a Nigerian playwright, novelist, poet in the English language. He was awarded the 1986 Nobel Prize in Literature, the first sub-Saharan African to be honored in that category. Soyinka was born into a Yoruba family in Abeokuta. In 1954, He attended Government College in Ibadan and subsequently University College, Ibadan, and the University of Leeds in England. Much of his writing has been concerned with the oppressive boot and the irrelevance of the color of the foot that wears it. A descendant of the rulers of Ishara, Soyinka is the second of 7 children. During the civil war in Nigeria, Soyinka appealed in an article for ceasefire. For this, he was arrested in 1967, accused of conspiring with the Biafra rebels, and was held as a political prisoner for 22 months. Until 1969, Soyinka has published about 20 works, drama, novels, and poetry. He writes in English, and his literary language is marked by great scope and richness of words.
Power is something I've always engaged myself in, intellectually, in essays and so on. But to see the ruthlessness, the brutality of power exercised under the veneer of state legitimacy crystallized my struggle also in ways which I hadn't suspected. It just meant for me a declaration of war against humanity by a bunch of psychopaths.
Happy birthday to Wole Soyinka as he clocks 88 years today. To Walade Faison, OGTV News.
We say happy birthday, Kongi. The Thanksgiving service, book launch and send-off ceremony for the rector, Abraham Adesonya Polytechnic, Ijebu-Igbo, Professor J.B. Bilesomi Awuderu, holds on Friday, 15 July 2022. Venue of the Thanksgiving is St. James's Anglican Church at Ikori, Ijebu-Igbo, starting at 10 in the morning, to be followed by book launch and send-off ceremony at Idiat Kaka Auditorium, Abraham Adesonya Polytechnic, Ijebu-Igbo. Nikai introduction and engagement ceremony between Adebisi Adebayo and Adebimpe Awofodu beginning on Thursday, 14th July 2022, with the registry at Shagamu Local Government Secretariat, Ayepero, Shagamu, Ogun State, beginning from 9 in the morning. Introduction and engagement follows thereafter at Remo Progressive Association, Shagamu, Ikene Road, opposite Rubber Plantation, Shagamu. Guests will be entertained at Royal Event Center, 50, opposite Erinlewo Awolesi Road, GRA. Erinwole Awolesi Road, GRA, Shagamu. Tragedy struck in Afikpo North Local Government area of Ebonyi State following the destruction of a section of the popular Eke Market in Afikpo town by a strange fire. While goods worth millions of naira, including shops, were destroyed by the fire, no life was reportedly lost. The cause of the fire was not yet known as at the time of this report, but the traders who were taking unawares made frantic efforts to save their goods without success, as the fire burnt their goods with so much intensity. The fire service unit in Afikpo could not mobilize to quench the raging inferno because its equipment were reportedly not functional. This development prompted the youths of the area to mobilize and stop the fire from further escalation. You're watching OGTV News. Up next is the business segment of the news. Do join us.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. Nigeria generated a total of 95,000 megawatts of energy on Tuesday, 12th July 2022, improving by 5% compared to 90,000 megawatts recorded in the previous day, representing the highest in over 2 months. This is according to information from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. The last time Nigeria's energy topped 95,000 megawatts was 4th May 2022, when electricity generation hit 96,000 megawatts.
It is worth noting that despite the increase, electricity generation and supply in Nigeria is still crippling below the minimum 105,000 of electricity required to record stable power supply in the country. Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Ogun, and other states have pushed enrollment into the national database of the National Identity Management Commission to 85 million, according to the commission, while the gender distribution of the total number of people with the national identity number showed that males with 48 million accounted for 56%, females with total number of 37 million at 44%. NIMS's enrollment dashboard puts figures as at July 7 this year at over 85 million, with over 9 million recorded in Lagos State. The value of Nigeria's cosmetic retail sales grew by an average of 14.5% last year and added hundreds of billions of naira to the economy, a report by Euromonitor has stated. The report was shared by the president of the Society of Cosmetic Scientists of Nigeria, Grace Abamba, at the organization's yearly conference in Lagos. The report reveals that hair and oral care led the performance with 17% growth, while bath and shower sat on the bottom at 8% yearly growth. The report covers 11 subcategories of cosmetics, including mass beauty and personal care, skin care, hair care, deodorant, bath and shower, and men's grooming. Others are baby care, oral care, fragrances, premium beauty and personal care, and sun care. There were indications that oil exploration has increased in Nigeria as the nation's rig count rose year-on-year by 120% to 11 in June 2022, from 5 recorded in the corresponding period of 2021, according to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. The rig count is a major index of measuring exploration and production activities in the global oil and gas industry. However, month-on-month, the nation's rig count remained flat when compared to 11 recorded in the preceding month of May 2022. The July 2022 monthly oil market report of OPEC indicated that while Algeria emerged the highest African oil-producing nation with 33 rigs, Libya became the least with only 2. And that's the business segment of the news. Many thanks for watching. The rest of the bulletin continues.